welcome back to the show.
Thank
I
you.
just learned this backstage about you, but you are Irish.
I am mostly Irish on my mom's side, yeah, and then my grandmother on my dad's side, she was a touch Irish. So.
Well, happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
You
Come
too.
on.
You're
that's
Irish,
fantastic.
right?
Yes,
Of
found
course.
very Irish. You started acting in college, right?
Yeah, I mean, I tried before that, but...
You did?
Yeah, but
But
nobody cared.
Yeah, they didn't care. Do you remember any of your first auditions?
I had read this thing that all these big stars used to crash auditions, and so I read that Michael J. Fox had crashed auditions.
What does it mean? Like you just show up?
Like you just like show up and they don't have an appointment and don't have an agent and you can just get in there. I don't think it's true. I don't even know if it's true.
Wow.
But I
did
read that
that?
all these people did that. Yeah, and I'm not even that kind of person. I'm always like,
Me too.
This restaurant's closed, right? I can't eat here, right? And then I
That's
get
me
kicked
too.
out.
I play by the rules all the time. Yeah, yeah.
And so this girl was going to an audition and I went with her and it was for a commercial and you had to like, hold a thing. Can I touch your water?
Yeah, of course, please.
All right. And you had to hold a cup and like talk about it, and I just kept doing this the whole time. And so I was covering whatever the product was, and they were like, "You're terrible at this." No.
Yeah, you can't. You're like, just hold the can of Pepsi.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Pepsi is the great. Yeah, you couldn't do that.
No, I could not. I
No.
was bad at it.
I did an audition once for a soft drink or something like that, and I was so nervous. And they went up, and before I had my lines, they sprayed me with a water bottle. And they were just like, all right, we're gonna do it. You have to be out of breath. I go, yeah, I know. I'm like a courier or something. I had to ride a bike or something. They go, okay. So, and they sprayed me in the face with water. And I go, this is so degrading.
Did you get the part?
I did not get the part. No, it was just embarrassing. I go, oh my gosh. But did you ever take any chances at audition and get the part?
I mean, typically yes, and then all the times, also it goes badly. But I remember when I was auditioning for Scooby-Doo, I was going,
I
Thank you. I was really excited because that was my favorite cartoon growing up. So I was going in for Velma, and I was like, I'm not going to go in there without my glasses and my turtleneck, So I went to Ross and bought this orange turtleneck and borrowed a friend of mine's glasses.
You went to Ross?
I did, and I needed a bargain.
Of course.
And
Ross is great.
And they had things that were out of season. It
Dress
wasn't
for
really
less.
orange turtleneck season. So, and then I went and I got this orange turtleneck and this skirt, and I dressed in a costume, which I was kind of new when I got that part.
Was this after Freaks and Geeks?
It was after Freaks and Geeks, but Freaks and Geeks wasn't like a big success or anything, so I was pretty new. And I just figured you were supposed to dress the part. So I got there, and there were a lot of people so I was kind of still a nobody. Freaks and Geeks got canceled, and and now people have seen it because it's on DVD, but at the time, not a lot of people were watching it.
Yeah.
And so I went in there, and I saw all these famous people sitting in the waiting room.
Were they dressed as Velma?
No, they were in normal people clothes. They looked great, and I looked like
we're
an
actors.
idiot. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
and
dressed
so
like the
I went
character.
in there, and I went in there dressed up in this costume, and just felt so stupid. And then I did my audition, and I did all these like crazy things that like took off my glasses and did all these like things, and I just felt like I had made the biggest fool of myself. And I came home and cried and cried and cried, and then I got the part. So.
Yeah, see, there you go. And you nailed it.
Yeah, my dad always says he knew I would get a part if I came home crying. So I guess you have to make a fool of yourself.
You gotta make a fool of yourself. You gotta try, yeah. I know that also you're a fan of game shows, TV game shows. You've actually been a contestant on
I have, on several.
Which
yes.
ones?
Well, when I first moved to LA, I was on The Price is Right. I know, with Bob Barker.
Bob Barker?
In the olden days.
gosh.
And I won a fireplace.
Come on down, you got that?
Come on down.
Rod Roddy?
They, of course, pronounced my name wrong, though. But,
Yeah, that's
which
all
is fine. That's fine. I'm used to it. But Cardellini, and I was like, it's Cardellini. And then I ran down, and I was terrible at the game, but I won a fireplace. I bid $1,000, won a fireplace.
You won a
Which I then, in turn, lost in a fire. But that's a whole other story.
That's so ironic.
Unfortunately. And then I was on Freaks and Geeks, did a thing against this show called Popular. We were on Family Feud.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, we played for charity, which was amazing.
I would always love to play Family Feud.
Yeah, right. And then I always wanted to be on Wheel of Fortune. I used to watch it with my grandmother, and it's like one of my favorites. So
You never did?
Well, I auditioned when I first, after The Price is Right, I auditioned to be, they had these auditions, and you could go, and it was like at an airport hotel, and there were lines just around the corner, because back in those days, it was like the most popular show on television. It was this huge primetime show. So we waited in line, a friend of mine and I, all day, and we played. They do this thing where they do like a whole audition, basically. So you go through like a full day of auditioning, like to play, not like an actor's audition, but you just play the game over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I got to the very end, and I got chosen. because I was, I'd played with my grandma. We were good at it. me
Yeah,
and my
like,
grandma.
yeah, don't play. I'll play
And,
Wheel of Fortune, man. I'm good.
Yeah, and then by the time, because it was such a popular show, by the time I got called to be on the show, I had my first ever job on television as a series regular on a kids' morning show on ABC, so I couldn't be on.
Hey, well, good. I mean, in a weird way, good for you, because come on, you made it.
Yeah, of course. Right?
Would you ever go back? Would you ever try to go on Wheel of Fortune now?
Well, here's what I know about a game show is it's terrible pressure. It's really
It's-
hard.
By
It's
the way,
a lot.
it's harder. Yes.
Whoa, it's
Playing
like,
at home when you're watching on TV is so much
I'm
easier.
so much better at home than I am in person, so I'd be afraid now to play. I think that was a lot of pressure. But I remember being on The Price is Right as like, an 18-year-old, and people just being like, "That's not right, you idiot!" And I was like, "Oh my God!" They're like, "It's 99 cents." And I was,
God.
I was terrified. So.
I think you could.
I don't know if I can handle the pressure anymore.
Yeah, maybe it's like a celeb Wheel of Fortune.
I mean, are they going to take it easy on me? Definitely not Jeopardy. I can't do that. That's way too much
No, I can't
pressure.
do Jeopardy.
No.
No. I can, no, but I do love all types of game shows. I think,
Have you been on one?
Yes. Well, I mean, I've hosted a bunch. Password.
Brag.
No big deal. But it is a different thing. It's a total different pressure. But we do games here on the show all the time.
I know. I
And
always want to play a game. Next time I have to play a game.
You had to play a game.
I
Because
mean, I don't think I can break a record with a football. I got to be honest. But
he's unbelievable. By the way, how about he threw it, even the one I threw behind my back, and he still hit that one. The guy's, he's unbelievable.
That's amazing.
He's got an arm. Oh my God, he's the best. Let's talk about your show, DTF St. Louis.
Yes.
Congratulations on this,
Thank
by the
you.
way. People love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Your character, Carol, has a lot of hobbies. I know she loves Jamba Juice. She has a lot of good catchphrases. She's a Little League umpire.
She sure is.
Yeah.
I don't know if she really wants to be, but she is.
But she is. She needs to do it for the fam. And
She
by the way,
does.
here's you in character.
Oh, thank you for that.
No problem. I didn't know they wear that much padding.
I thought it went on the outside.
Me too.
But Steve Conrad, who's our wonderful writer-director, was very intent on it being on the inside, which I do think makes it stand out.
It's pretty fun. Is there any move that you learned as being an umpire?
Oh, I love the move.
The
I mean,
best.
I'm a little rusty because, I haven't umped in a while. But
Yeah, but could you give us a taste? What
I
does it go
mean,
with?
that one in the picture is like, strike!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
You know what
about.
I mean? And it's like,
Strike!
yeah,
Yes!
or like, there's like names for them all.
Oh, really?
I know, I did like a class with a guy who was an umpire, and it was really fun.
That's also, I think, a lot of pressure, by the way, an umpire.
You're right.
I was a Little League ump once. 'cause
What?
Someone was sick, and they asked me if I could jump in and do it, and I go, sure, and I put the thing on the outside. But I was there with the mask, and you got to make the call. I mean,
Yeah.
strike, ball. A lot of people are angry at
You're gonna
this
break some
decision.
hearts.
I did not like that. I'm a very, yes, everyone wins type of guy.
I know, I
What,
know.
what do you think it is?
I know, I am too. So
Ball
like,
strike?
Carol, not at all. This
Not at all.
character, not at all.
But I
So
like the
it's
little
fun.
clicky thing they gave you. A
Oh,
clicky
they give
thing.
me that too. I had that in a notebook.
Yes,
A
yeah.
notebook. I don't know what I was writing down in it. but
No,
it
me
was
either. But I
serious.
like the clicky thing. I go, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it says right here, 2 strikes. Okay, I'm so excited. Can we set up what DTF St. Louis is about and who you play?
Okay, I play a woman named Carol, and she is married to a man named Floyd, played by David Harbour.
He's amazing.
And I know he is amazing. And she also there's a love triangle with Jason Bateman there,
It
and the three of
certainly
us.
is.
And somebody
Yeah.
ends up dead. And it's sort of looking into, and that's not a spoiler, it happens very early, and it's sort of looking into
How this whole
how
thing.
this happened. And the title is provocative, but sometimes the scenes are just more awkward and funny and
Yes.
odd, and it has its own style.
Yeah,
It's
and
really fun.
DTF St. Louis was what David Harbour finds out is an app, a dating app.
Yes, it's a dating app
Called-
for married people who want to
Yes.
not act married for a minute.
Yes, yeah. It's fantastic. You do a great job. I want to show a clip. Here's Linda Cardellini in DTF St. Louis. Take a look.
Why are you doing Uptalk?
Doing what?
Doing everything ends in a question? Doing Kids Are in the Sunshine?
Okay, I'm not.
Okay, you are.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm just, maybe I'm a little nervous about, saying that the umpire gear around the house, it makes it a little hard for me to get my engine revved. It kind of, because it kind of neutralizes sexually. So maybe if there was more time around the house when we weren't an umpire, I thought it was important to share this, so that our sex
Yeah,
life
okay,
can
thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Linda Cardellini, everybody! New episodes of DTF St. Louis. airs Sundays at 9 p.m. on HBO and HBO Max. We're talking to Derek White after the break. Stick around, everybody.